Good afternoon, everybody. Hopefully everybody can hear me. If we could just have a showing that my mic is working, if we could just have a couple of thumbs up would be lovely. I'll just say a few hellos while you're doing that. Hi, Zibby, first in, Tony Oni, Dame OK, Neil, Robbie, Ian Fincham, John C, Imri, Stuart, hope you're well, Caray, Barry Bears, good steak dinner, hello, Al, hello, mate. Big day in the Scottish Premier League. Richard, Ken, AG, Martin, Lincoln flying, Andy, Daz, hello, Anish, Matt, hello, hope you're well. I'll get back to you this week. Andy Edwards and Mark Cardiff. How did the big game go yesterday? Did it finish 1-1? I didn't see the end result of it. The big League One match. Let's have a quick look. No sound? People got no sound again? Oh, you can hear loud and clear, so it must be you, Baz, if it's okay, lovely. Yep, finish 1-1, okay. Right, so this afternoon I'm going to have a quick run through some of the AI bits as people have been asking questions about that. So I'm going to, if you're an Ultimate member, I'm just going to give you a quick preview of what's coming up there. I will then do the advanced AI selections that go on the website. I will then give you a little update on what I showed you last week, and I will also be using the in-play tool and having a couple of bits of that. I've been absolutely super busy this last couple of weeks. I'm hoping that next week it quietens down a bit. But first, I just need to, before I do share a screen, I think we may have an opportunity coming up in the second half at the Bundesliga 2 game. So I'm just going to check those before anything happens. Newcastle Villa just kicked off, big game. All right, now they seem to be levelling out actually. There you see, just when I looked a couple of minutes ago, there was value, and just like that, it's gone. So let's just bring any games in from the 2 o'clock kickoffs. Export and import. No, not much backed in there at all. Okay, right, no, they're fine. We can leave them. I might check them again in a couple of minutes before I bring it on. Right, let's bring a screen in for you. I don't know whether we've got any Ultimate members. If we have, I've been doing Ultimate AI since the 6th of January fully. I'm just going to give you a quick update. I will go through it more when we do the Ultimate Live on the 3rd. But just to show you, that is that one there. Bring that in. Let's take me out a minute. Make it a little bit bigger. So basically what I do here is I feed in the Ultimate files every process. So Alistair runs it Tuesday, Friday for us. I take that, I break it down into leagues. I then feed the historical data into AI. It runs some Python code to analyze that historical data. Once it's analyzed it, I then give it the latest upcoming fixtures, and it spits out some bets. Just to show you the highlighted colors, green means it's a really highly rated bet. Yellow is sort of just a medium rated bet, a standard bet if you like, and a red bet, which has only been one, is a low rated bet, which was back in Arsenal home to Liverpool when they played. But the results have been simply astounding. As you can see, I have no idea whether this will continue, but it has generated 158 bets going into today, right up to last night. 158 bets for 52.27 points profit after commission. If we do the match odds bets, so away, win, draw, when it recommends a 1x2, they're 18 points up from 50 bets. If I do the goals next, I'll just do the goals, the standard match goals. They are 3 points up from 38 bets, which kind of just shows, I mean, goals have been really hard to come by in the last sort of 4 weeks really. Hopefully a bit of a pickup this weekend. Looked a bit better yesterday, but that's kind of reflective of what we're going through at the minute. But nicely still in profit, obviously back in over 3.5 in Germany. He's not been firing that much. And then laying the half-time correct score is 31 points up from 70 games with a max price of 7. So I'm very, very hopeful for this stuff. The whole thing about all this is perhaps training data is not the right word. It's updating everything based on the latest data. So it's treating the newest data that we're plugging in more relevant than data that's old. So if we take something like Ultimate, and I'm very rigid in what I do, and it perhaps to my downfall at times, that you build a system in July and you just stick to it. And I am when I go stick to it, nothing loses, but we get those bigger peaks and troughs. What this is doing is adjusting on every process based on the information it gets from the previous week. And with everything I'm doing now, I'm trying to do that process, and everything that I'm doing is showing improved results. I just think that's going to be the way forward for a lot of what I do and what I'll share. So I'm going to do a full session on that on the 3rd for Ultimate members in the evening, and this sheet will then be posted from that date onwards. I will post it till the end of the season on every process, so that people will be able to see the bets and use the bets if you want to. I'll post all the historical as well, so that you'll have it. But very, very positive on that for set and forget stuff. So that's the Ultimate AI. We then have our top 10 all back. So these are posted in the advanced area, have been since October. Highlighted green shows where the over 2.5 moves in. I've talked about that till I'm sort of blue in the face now, but when you do look at that, so you can see the individual bets that it recommends other than both teams to score is the only one winning. But when we look at, and obviously you've got to look at what bet did it recommend. So if it recommended both teams to score, yes, it's winning 1.85 points. If it recommended first half goal 0.5 back, it's winning 0.4 points. If it recommended over 1.5 back, it's losing a couple of points, and the one that's doing the damage, because we're low on goals, is over 2.5, which is losing 9 points. So nothing's really dramatic there. But when we clear it and then look at where the over 2.5 has moved in, we get a completely different picture. Another good day yesterday. You sort of take yesterday's games from there and do the 4 markets. And if you'd had the 4 bets in every game, you'd have won another 10 points. Overall, 119 points. Bad weekend last weekend. Last week was just horrific for goals. I had an absolute bloodbath. I had a bloodbath Saturday. Just about got over it when I got up Sunday morning. Thought, well, today's a new day. And then I had a bigger bloodbath Sunday. So it was hard work, but that got reflected last week. So last week's results were those games there, and you can see lost 25 points. There's just no goals last week, which was absolutely horrific. Everybody was struggling, but going to continue posting them, and they will, we're going to have bad weeks. I mean, last week was particularly horrific. I think the goals have been, when you look at the last 5-6 weeks figures, they've been terrible. The Premier League 1.6 goals a game or something. It's just rubbish. But it can't go on forever, that sort of stuff, unless football changes. And if it does, the prices will change and you won't have so many bets, blah, 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 blah. So already noticing a volume of games where the over 2.5 gets backed in has gone down as people react to what's going on. But yeah, we'll keep posting those. So they're doing really nicely, particularly if you follow the in rule. Whatever way you play it, if you follow those, you should be winning money. And then last week, I showed you the trading shortlist. So this is where we drop. If I go to here, this is for those of you who didn't see last week. This is where I can drop the sheet in. So I've loaded in today's pre-match file. Let me give you a quick demo if I can. So I basically choose, the speed of this thing amazes me. So I can go to my 2023 master sheets. I can click advanced. I can grab today's sheet, click open, and it processes it, and it basically creates some suggested trades for me. So this is built with trading in mind. For the home wins, so this is home gains, backing the home team, greening up if they take the lead. You have to check whether the home price moves in. For all the goal markets, you've got first half 0.5, 1.5, over 1.5, over 2.5, or second half goals. All of those require the over 2.5 to move in. So that's going to be a theme. So what I've been doing is running that every single day and building up a sheet of it, and it gives it a confidence level. So you can see there's 100% confidence level. Doesn't mean 100% it's going to win. 90% confidence. So that's a kind of a rating, bit like with the ultimate ones where it's high, medium, and low. And I may look to change that. I didn't want to play with it too much for the minute. I just wanted to get some data. So I've been collecting that data in a sheet every week, pulling in the results from FTS every day, pulling in the results from FTS Data Advanced. And looking at the 100% confidence, I just pull everything in, looking at the 100% confidence games only, where that price moved. Home gains has had a 100% home gains. There's been 13 games, 10 have where the home team took the lead. So that's a nearly 77% strike rate. Basically, just to break even, you'd need to make about 0.3 per game. It's making about 0.52 per game. So that's comfortably ahead. The first half 0-0 on 20. It's had 8 games that are 100% confidence that got to 0-0 on 20 minutes. 5 of those had a goal, which means you'd have to average odds of 1.6 from that point onwards. You're absolutely nailing that. 1.8 upwards. If you're dripping in, you can get it to average 2.2. The over 1.5 0-0s on 20. We've had 11. 9 have gone over 1.5 after that point. 2 have been a full loss. Again, you need to cover your losses. You need to make 0.22. You're making about 0.37. Over 2.5, back in that through the first 10-15 minutes. 23 qualifiers, 14 have gone over 2.5, 21 have gone over 1.5. It recommends trading. So if you go to the strategy tab here, go right to the top, over 2.5, it tells you what to do. Back over 2.5 early, manage position on goals, green up progressively. So doing that, basically you need to win more than 0.09 to cover your losses. There's only been 2 full losses in that. You'd have to average odds of 1.64 to break even. It's absolutely stunning. And then the second half, goal by 70. So basically this says if there hasn't been a second half goal by 70 minutes, start dripping from that point. 7 have been 11 games, 7 have had a goal, 4 haven't. You'd have to average odds of 1.57 to break even. There's been 3 winners post 80. You're averaging odds about 2.4. So I am really hopeful for this stuff. I think this is going to be pretty tremendous for people who do want to get a preset. The whole idea of that basically is to get a preset trading list. So in effect, you create that. I've filtered it to the 100%. You just need to check whether these odds move in or not. And then you don't have to play all the bets. If you want to just do second half goals and first half goals, you can. So be looking to make that available to FTS Data Advanced members who want to trade fairly soon. I mean, obviously there's a bit of programming and things involved that we've got to do our end to whilst it's in the website, it doesn't look great. We're going to try and move it into the FTS Data Services website and tart it up a little bit. And I'll just look at that 100% confidence area. But again, all this stuff is built on feeding in the latest data. So in the back end of that, the latest data is going in the arse end of it to bring that out to you at the front end. And I think that's going to be the biggest sort of difference in how we operate going forward, over the next sort of few years. Odds movement coupled with giving everything the most recent data that we can, which before AI with the greatest speed, you just couldn't do it. You couldn't sit every week and process manually all that data, where now you can whack it into different models and spit out stuff in, you see how quickly when I drop that sheet in. So yeah, really hopeful for that. So today at 2 o'clock, unfortunately, once again, we'll see the Gladbach game, and then we've got Rangers Dundee coming up at 3. The Newcastle Villa game drifted. We missed the home for Groningen game. I don't know whether they came in, but they took the lead. So we'll look and see that Gladbach game, and then we might have a look at a couple of these bets in that game, see what happens. But But yeah, very hopeful. Right, let me clear that and let's get see. Newcastle have taken the lead. Any questions? Feel free to ask. Bring me back there. Hello. Jean-Claude Van Damme. Jean-Claude Van Damme, yeah. I mean, I'm going to talk to Matt about it in the week. It's, who knows where this all ends up. It's just relentless, isn't it? It's just absolutely the speed. You know, you read something and it's out of date next week and something else is doing. It's just incredible how it's going to develop over the next few years, and the processing power and things that it's using, the resources it's going to use. All that needs to be factored in. That's why Trumpy wants Greenland or Iceland, whichever one he wants to call it. Right, let's get the in-play tool up. Where do I go there? Here, over here. Right, no value there. Yeah, no, absolutely amazing, isn't it? So it's just amazing how when I pick this, but I'll just bring it up. It just shows what I was talking about, really. When I share screen, last week we had the problem it kept crashing. If it does, just hang about and I will come back. It seems to not like it at the moment. Right. So in-play tool, let me get out of there. You can see from today's games, this is all what I say about not the goals aren't being backed at the moment. Obviously, the market's going to react. If people keep backing goals and don't get goals, eventually people stop backing goals and wait for markets to adjust a bit. And out of all the games today, if I remove all the filters, out of all the games that are odds on, they are the only ones that have been backed in. And typically, I look at the fixtures on Friday when I'm doing the newsletter to give you a live session, and I pick 2 o'clock. And look, we had 3, 12:30 to 1 o'clock, and then the next ones are 3:30 and 4:30. It's like it is watching me going, "Fuck you, mate. We're not going to let you do anything." So that's what we've got going at the moment. Unfortunately, it's all a little bit quiet. I can export that. I can go over here and import it, and it brings check marks in, and you can see that nothing there is ticked because nothing is green, unfortunately. And the games that were green have just had a couple of late goals, but they weren't valued when we came on the air. So we're going to wait for that Mönchengladbach game at 2:30. We'll check the prices in a few minutes and see if that gives us something. In fact, we can have a little look here and go clear. Mönchengladbach, no, look, see, drifted. Everything's drifted, and I'm just stuck on this rule. I'm afraid it's absolutely proven that when the odds move in, but this is our little slot that we got. Look, either massive prices or all drifting out, and this is all purely because the prices are, when they're coming out, the prices are just too short for what's been going on. Villa have taken the lead. And it will all settle down, but as I say, the last 5-6 weeks, first half goals in particular, have been absolutely rancid. Match odds, I don't think the home teams, let me just hold on a minute. Let me, no, I can't do that there. I just need to stop that invite a minute. I don't think we had any. Trading shortlist. I should have probably put it on another screen. No, the next home games game is not until 4:30, and it is. Have they been backed in? It's them toss pots from Woolwich. Have they been backed in? I haven't looked at the market for that game. Well, they have one point. They're just a tick lower than they were this morning, but on the trading shortlist, if I bring it up again, and then people might want to take a quick note of anything. Let's bring that up. While we're waiting. with me. 2-1 Arse for you. Yeah, they just don't concede, do they? United will have take heart from last week, but very difficult to go there and win, unfortunately. No, so you've got Arsenal and Elect and Famalicão in Portugal at 6 o'clock as home games, but don't know whether anyone you want to take a screenshot or whatever if I make it a bit bigger. There you go, you can see I go like that. There you've got all the games there and the rules. As I say, if it's a first half goal, the rules are wait 20 minutes and drip in from there. If it's an over 1.5, it's 20, 30, 45. Second half goals is wait to 70 minutes. Home games is obviously back the home team if it leads, and over 2.5 is drip in through the first 10, 15 minutes. But they've all just been, it's the rock solidness that I like. I'm always looking at ways, particularly for you guys, when you look at the chat in the room, it mostly can, and I haven't seen the results of the poll, I've not had time to have a look, but I know people are doing it, but the chat in the room of variance, losing runs, looking at ways to remove that for you. We can't get rid of it, it's impossible, but we can certainly make it less volatile. And certainly for, people sacrificing whether you want to time for us to do this, you've got to sit here and do it and check prices. And the sacrifice for that is you can control the volatility a lot more, or you just want to bet and you are going to be open to volatility. But certainly when you get weekends like last weekend with the lack of goals pretty much all round, then you need to sort of look at it and go, actually, is putting people or yourself through that? Is there another way? So that's kind of where I'm trying to head with you guys on that. I don't think I'm immune. It was fucking horrific last week. Spurs lost to West Ham. The 49ers got beat in the NFL. The golfers went backwards on the Sunday, and the football was rancid, so there wasn't much to shout about at all. Right, let's stop that one. Right, we're going to look at this. I'm just going to check this Stuttgart game. Or was it Stuttgart or Mönchengladbach? Mönchengladbach. Oh yeah, no, drifted. Nothing at all. Absolutely rancid. There genuinely is. I mean, it's just how the cookie crumbles, isn't it? You can't do anything. This is one of the things where you just go and sit and have a cup of tea and come back later. Any Burnley fans in? Right, let me bring the in-play tool up for people. Just, you might want to have a little dump. I don't, there's nothing there for me at all. Present. Seems to be behaving itself a bit better this week. I don't even see Newcastle take the lead. Big XG, 5.1. You battered us, to be fair. We did in the first half. I don't think we did so much in the second half. First half, we looked like we gave you a bit of a go, and then we couldn't put the ball in the net. And then second half, we reverted to type. But when you've played, who have we played? Brentford, you, Bournemouth, Sunderland, and West Ham in 2026, and you haven't won one of them. He's fucking useless. Yeah, so you can see here there's some value spots, but I just games that hasn't been backed in, it's just not for me. And this is sort of when you're using this, and this is available to people now. If you're interested, email him. You've just got to be really disciplined, and you could go away clicking around, but there's just nothing there that stands out to me at the moment. Let's just see the value on the Brentford comeback. Let's see where Brentford backed in. So even on the home teams, I like to see them backed in. Brentford, no, they were the same. But that's quite a good angle to being pretty decent on the in play tool. If you've got it, people watching the home wins, teams that get backed in, maybe if they go 1-0 down, or if they're leading late on, you still get some cracking value, you know, where they're priced sort of 1.4, 1.5 with not that long to go and they're already winning. You do see some cracking value in that. I don't tend to get involved in stuff where it's 5.9 and things like that. But if you've got sort of around about even money that we're making it and decent price and the team's being backed in, then, you know, that's a game where you could, if Brentford had been backed in as an example, you could back Brentford, and then if they do level it up, just trade out, green yourself up, because obviously they'll shorten up unless it's right at the death. But you've got, you know, plenty of time to. Yeah, there's some value on goals in certain games, but as I say, for me, none of them have been. None of them have got my check mark next to them. It's all a little bit. Nice to see some goals. 1, 2, over 2.5, over 2.5, over 2.5, over 2.5. Couple early in. I mean, Italy's been worse than the Premier League. Italy has been horrific. I don't know what. I mean, it's gone back to the 1980s Italy, where you just used to go 1-0 and that was it. So what's the see who called 2-1? Who called 2-1? 2-1 asked, what's the views on Arsenal? Anyone think United got a chance? Anybody had a little splurge on Man U? Carrick's Man U, one of our favourite managers. Goal in Turkey. You think they'll go for it, but Arsenal too strong. Man U, Man U have no chance. I think that's probably because you're a Liverpool manager. You need to worry about your own team getting duffed up at 2. You're like us getting duffed up at Bournemouth 3-2 to a late winner. All that money you've spent. United seem to pull something out of the bag for the big games. Might well get a draw, I reckon. Be nice, wouldn't it? Just be nice to make it interesting, wouldn't it, for the rest of us? United win today, and my £2 at 320 for them to win the league looks good. I think you need to go and get some therapy, John, if you were backing United to win the league at the start. Well, at any time, to be fair, any time over the last 10 years, if you were backing United to win the league, you need to go and get some therapy. Arsenal just remind me of Stoke back in the day. I don't know, Stoke had a bit more characters about them, didn't they? You know, Pulis on the line, bit of a character. Crouchy. You couldn't dislike Stoke. With my old Wigan mate, he's sitting there headbutting the screen, getting ready to punch me. Still annoyed that I had to cancel the Christmas drinks. He really wants to whack me now. Didn't get to do a pod Friday, I was so busy. I've got to tell you about, I think I mentioned it last week, reform knocking on the door. You know, we'll get the pod out this week. A few bits to go over. It's been a bit of a week, isn't it, in the news? Right, really is not much going on, I'm afraid, team. It's just one of them. I just seem to. Can he pick the slot for you? I thought, oh, there'll be some decent games there. Newcastle, Villa, Couple of games in Italy, game in France, Brentford Forest, probably see some goals. Palace Chelsea, I doubt you'll see any goals. And then you got the German game, and nobody fancies goals anywhere. It's not a bad thing. It means I'm having less bets, which is good at the minute, while the goals sort themselves out. But look at that. Look at that today. I mean, these are fluid markets. These aren't Premier League markets. Just shows you everybody's getting scared. It's not just us. I know people sort of go, oh, but I've just not seen the like of it for a long time. What's gone on in the last few weeks, market-wise and output-wise. I've never ever felt genuinely, in all the time I've been doing this, I've got tons and tons of data, I've never ever felt genuinely that football is on the cusp of changing. I think, yeah, you have periods and it all comes back, and yeah, United were great and disappear, but another team takes over, City, Liverpool, whatever. That cycle always happens, but actual goals-wise and the way the game's played, even in COVID, when people react, don't they? COVID was going to be the end, and no more goals in COVID. They were pretty similar, dropped about 0.06 goals per game, I think, over the COVID period. Home wins went down a bit. And then a few years ago, when we were going to play 8-9 minutes extra time, you're going to see 82 goals a game. And we have and sure enough, we did have a season that initially where it raised and then it all fell back. But this is the first time over the last sort of 6-8 weeks, when you start, Christmas time, I analyse all the data. It's probably genuinely, I think, the first time I've thought, actually, I think football might be on the cusp of changing. Because I don't see how the Premier League changes to how it plays, how they play now. I don't see what could happen. There's not the cavalier players to break defences open and do things. Every team is pretty much trying to play exactly the same way. Players are the average players across the lot. That's why Arsenal are just miles out in front. They play better as a unit, but you wouldn't say Arsenal have dazzling players. Nobody does. Nobody. Is there a player in the Premier League that makes you get out your seat? Genuinely, go, mate, wow, look at him get out of the seat. Ronaldo, Drogba, Zola, all those sorts of people over the years. It's the first time I've really thought, where's this all going to go? The goal's going to go down to sort of 2.4, 2.5, which would be a significant change. Prices and things obviously will move. They take a bit more time to catch up. But it's the first time I've looked at it and thought that there might be a fundamental change. Yeah, the SPL, I told you, Al. The SPL's making me giddy this year. It's making me giddy with excitement. I made a complete hash last week of saying that it was Hearts v Celtic and things. I didn't look at the date. But it's going to be really exciting. I mean, a couple of cracking games. Rangers, obviously, Dundee, Hearts, Celtic. Yeah, I mean, everybody says that geared defence. It is, but it's always the teams like Stoke and that have always defended. I just don't think you've got the quality of player to play around them anymore. A lot of goals come from teams just losing the ball on their own box by trying to faff it around with it. I mean, we do that all the time and concede, but they just don't seem to be the quality players that we used to have. Whether it's being coached out of them, the Grealish is probably the closest that we've got that you look at and go, there's somebody who just does something a bit different. That's what I say. Is it being coached out of them that just somebody goes with a bit of talent, a Ginola type, and they say, well, we don't want you to play like that. We want you to do this tippy-tappy, pass it backwards, sideways shite, and we'll just keep going until somebody falls over and a goal might go in. It's, even at Palace, Sahar, just players like that. There's just nobody. There's just absolutely not one I can think of, other than Grealish, who's now got injured, that you think, yeah, you really want to watch him play football. Yeah, no, that's exactly right, man. I mean, Tottenham don't have strikers. Our goals all come from centre backs. It's just become a really bad watch. And you kind of go, right, it's a phase, but I can't see. I look at it now, I can't really see how it changes. And that's the word. That is the word, Ian. It is sterile. Everything. I mean, our manager whatever people think of him, I can't bear him, and that's just been embedded in me over the last 5-6 months. But you go to the game, he doesn't watch the match, he's watching an iPad. He gives everything a percentage chance. You know, when we let a goal in, he said that was against Bournemouth. He went, it was a 16% chance. I'm happy for them to have that. And you're like, well, I'm not, because they fucking scored from it. Oh, behave yourself, Damo. Flipping heck. I worry about you. And that's what he does. He just spends his time chewing gum, watching an iPad, and that's what I don't like about him. It's just got nothing about him at all. But it's all about, you know, 4 iPads lined up on the sideline. Let's watch the iPads. You watch him. You watch the next time Spurs are on the box. He's sitting there. You might as well go and watch it on TV. But that's what they all do now, isn't it? It's not like they don't take shots out of the box because it's low chance, this, that, and the other. Yeah, but for sometimes it's decent, and for other times it isn't. It's all this XG stuff and stats. I think it's just almost killing the game a little bit. But all we can do is bet round it. Let the markets adjust and bet round it. Right, guys, unfortunately, I mean, I can't give you anything because there's nothing at all that is going to qualify. I've sort of left that screen up for you. And it's just, as I say, when I look on a Friday and I pick these, I do try and pick periods where I think there may be something for us. But the next games where, 3:30. We've got an hour to go. It is that, it's just the Swiss games and the Portuguese Primera. Let's have a look at that. Those 3:30, those three. I mean, that's definitely going to be a game that you'd want to get in if you've got the in-play tool. In fact, all 3 of those. So I should have picked 3:30. If I picked 3:30, it would have been perfect. But that's your games that potentially later on, as I say, there's only 5. 3 at 3:30. Zurich Gala Nacional. Freiburg at 4:30 is borderline, but should probably stay there, I expect, looking at all the other markets. And the same for Benfica. But other than that, there just really isn't much going on that you can get excited about. So on that note, as I cannot really do any more for you on this day, I will retire and leave you to your football trading. As I say, Ultimate members, we've got the 3rd, got a couple of other groups that week as well that I'm doing sessions for, and I'll keep you posted on all the other stuff. The in-play tool is available if anybody does want to sign up. Email in. Enjoy the Scottish football hour. Hope it goes for you. Good that they're both playing at the same time as well, just well. I think that's even better. And all have a lovely weekend, and I hope it's been slightly better for you, goals-wise, this week than last.